Hi, everyone, and welcome to Unsupervised Consequences, day number 43. Today, we are talking about dealing with people. This is a chronicle of how I went from over 450 pounds to a very lean, as of today, 272.4. So that's something. Um, and I'm kind of explaining all the things that I've learned, the roadblocks I faced, how I overcame them, but also how I keep things going. I've been on this journey for quite some time. I was fat for my entire life, and at this point, it really kicked off. I was over 400. I was 400 pounds at in October. Before that, I was well over that, but that's where I'm going right now. So today, I found a quote for today's show that I really fell in love with immediately. It says, "Don't let a thief into your house 3 times. The first time was enough. The second time was chance. The third time means you're stupid." So, and that's from JoyBell C. I don't know why she has 2 C's in there, but that's none of my business. So, dealing with people. This is actually something that I've had conversations with a couple times this week with different people. Was the first was that someone's like, well, I don't really like meeting new people. I'm like, yeah, of course, people are the worst, 0 stars, and they laughed because, well, let's be honest, a lot of times that interaction is quite unenjoyable. Hey, what's happening, Serge? I am doing great. Honestly, I this was what really was the catalyst of this, because there are a lot of people in my life that I've cut out, and a lot of people who I keep at a respectable distance, and I will hang out with them once in a while. But also, too, it's one of those things that, because of how I've grown as a human being, it's served to benefit me, and that's why, like, so today, it was funny, or no, maybe yesterday was Joey Edibles, who's a close friend, who I'm hopefully going to go see very soon. He made a comment about me kicking kids off of a out of a park so I could do my hanging, and and I was like, "You're absolutely right. That's exactly what happened." And somebody immediately attacked him and was like, "No, he didn't. What are you talking about? Leave him alone." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so nice." But it goes to show that people do want to be supportive. People who aren't supportive, that is also a choice. And the conversation I had today about friendship was very interesting to me. Now, understanding that it was actually with my wife and her and one of her friends, and when we were having the discussion, I asked her the simple question is, why are women consistently friends with people that aren't nice to them? Like, they're not friendly. And I'm like, why would you be with friends with people you don't like? I don't understand that concept. And I'll tell you that I have actively tried, and there are friends or people that my wife has introduced me to, and I made sure they left our interaction feeling like I was their best friend. And um, that's something I've learned over time, to make sure that people feel that connection and feel good. And after him, I was like, wow, that person, like, you and them are like this. And I'm like, don't be alone with that person. That person is creepy, and I don't want to hang out with them ever, because it's none of my concern. They can live their life and enjoy. I don't have to be mean to them. I don't have to do that. But also, too, I should enjoy the experience as well. Right. So that being said, is how you deal with people. Um, and this is the thing, was that I said, if somebody is doing something mean or not enjoyable to you, um, tell them. Just tell them. You don't have to be mean about it. Be like, hey man, I don't really enjoy that interaction, so no thanks, and just stop it. And they're like, oh well, then they're gonna talk bad about you. I'm like, okay. And then anyone who listens to someone talking bad about you, you don't need that person in your life. It's that simple. Hey, Rita, how are you? Glad you can make it. So we're talking about dealing with people, and I don't understand why people choose to associate with people that they don't actually like, and I find that baffling, because let's be honest, there are life is hard enough as it is. If you have a perfect existence, life is difficult. So knowing full well that that can make it even harder. Hey, what's up, Body Chuck? Is it neat? But, like, why would you put yourself through that pain all over again? And it's, I know there's a certain comfort to the devil, and then there's a concern or worry that um, we won't be able to make new friends, and which is, I understand that. I understand that completely, and I get it. It's more of a why not try? You know, because we wanted to. Serge says hello, walkie talkies, and also because we want to chill with the cool kids. Okay, I understand that wholeheartedly, but what I'm saying is why that just because they're cool kids doesn't mean that we shouldn't put boundaries up, right? And be careful with that interaction, because that's how people get abused, right? And that's how people get weird perspectives on things, right? And that's like, I don't know, it makes me concerned that um like if it's back and forth, right? That's an enjoyable, like, we're just ribbing on each other, it's fine. But if you're outwardly mean to somebody, it's like, yeah, man, that's not okay. And if somebody thinks that that's okay, maybe it's about time that somebody tells them that it's not, right? And I don't know. I was worried that that is possibly a male perspective, which is very possible. I just don't understand it, because there are people who I have interacted with that I made sure that they felt great. It felt great, and it was an enjoyable experience. However, I will actively avoid that person because I'm like, yeah, no, thanks. Just not interested in any of that. Just don't want to have to deal with it. And um, I feel like that's a beneficial thing. Like that means that I feel like, because remember, listen, there's no point in doing something out of a courtesy to others if you're going to adamantly not enjoy the experience 100%, right? Like that sounds nuts. You should always, at least, like, if you're not going to enjoy the experience, it should still be to your benefit. Like, okay, for me, I'm trying to work out daily, and I'm working on the hanging, and it's getting better, and I'm slowly making progress. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But I know that I benefit from it. I know that me hating it is because growth is painful and frustrating and hard, right? Walkie Talkie says hello. Trying to teach my 11-year-old that she will meet people that are just plain jerks. I wish I could reassure her that those people will come and go. Well, you, yeah, I understand that. Life is hard enough. No need to be asses to each other. That's also too, right? Some people, I feel like a lot of people don't really realize. I think there are a lot of people out there, because something I was reading today was the idea of playing the victim, which um as someone who is still overweight, I'm still very overweight. Um, I'm just no, I'm just obese, not morbidly obese anymore, right? Um, it is so easy to turn around and be the victim, that life is doing this to you, and I don't know what's happening and stuff. I'm there. I understand it. With regards to, you teach my 11-year-old that she will meet people that are just plain jerks. Yeah. Mm. So that's a good question. That's a good point. How to teach them that people will be jerks. So I think it's more so an establishment of who you are versus concerning yourself with who they are. If someone is a jerk, steer clear. There's no reason to hang out with that person. And I find a lot of the times is you can tell how much of a horrible human being certain people are, specifically because if they're bad and you avoid them, but they go out of their way to attack you, they're garbage, right? And then they should not be allowed to push forward or to involve themselves in your existence. That is not okay. And versus the other side, where some people, they just may not know. They may not know that they're horrible, right? Red flags. Oh God, so many red, like, it's that idea that people are like, oh, that's just how I am. You're like, no, 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 no. And that was what it was actually explaining, was that so oftentimes people will go towards being a victim because it excuses those red flag tendencies, those horrible actions, or think, oh well, sorry, I suffered from a trauma, and that's how I deal with it. And you're like, no, you're just an asshole. right? And and I know for comedy, I deal with a lot of people who have been like, "Oh, you just don't understand my humor. I'm edgy," and you're like, "No, you're just a dick. That's it. You're just a jerk," you know. And that's I get rid of toxic friends. Well, and that is I think the real advice of this is that if you it comes back to that, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you, right? It is never worthwhile to hold on to something that's not holding you back. And I don't mean holding you back, I mean like holding you as well, right? So if somebody and I do this because I don't enjoy people hugging me. So when they hug me, I do one, two, and then I just push them off because I'm like, stop touching me. It makes me feel uncomfortable, right? And that I make sure that they know exactly where they stand. I actually worked with an employee that blamed a mess up on their. Well, that's the other thing, right? People try and attribute all of their characteristics towards, well, oh, that's because you're that side. Okay, but then that doesn't make any sense because the fact is that the stars have moved and they don't. They like none of that aligns. It doesn't make any sense, and that's why the hard part is understanding why like people use excuses to try and uh, uh, allow or for others to permit their red flag actions, right? So instead of permitting it, uh, I would say that like it's hard enough. Like me, I'm humongous. Even though Rita doesn't think I'm scary, I am terrifying in human being and in physical form. So that being said, like for me, if someone is a dick, I will confront them and be like, "You're a piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here." I won't leave. I will make them leave. Now, that is not always okay, and it's not always available to other people because other people have to use words and stuff like that. I would just get up and leave, which I have done before because I didn't want to beat somebody up. But that was in like high school. So I said, yeah, I'm not interested in being treated like that. I'll see you later. All right. And that's really what it comes down to. So I think I'll leave it there is that definitely avoid, make sure that you don't allow people to excuse their actions because of their experience, but rather make sure that you protect your own experiences and your own progress by not allowing those kind of toxic people to gain roots around you. Rather, evade them and make sure that they're aware that their actions and or negative existence is not something that's embraced by you or those around you. And I think that's a variable, viable course of action for the simple fact that people will be better for you in the long run. So this has been Unsupervised Consequences, day number 43. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with more information and stuff. Super cool nachos. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate all your support. Have a